back to my channel. My name is Rachel. I'm the owner and creator here at the Eclectic Cottage in Spokane, Washington. Today is Friday, and for today's video, I have a DIY for you. I started making these little pumpkin block sets last year. I made, I think, 6 or 8 sets last year and sold them all. So I decided to do some more for this year, and I decided to do 12 sets, which was honestly quite a bit. We cut out, well, actually I cut out the pieces probably a month ago, and my husband began sanding them. We didn't get very far. They got left out in the rain. Anyway, long story short, it has taken me quite a bit of time to get these guys finished, but they're finally done and I'm thankful. So I am going to show them to you. I call them my modern farmhouse pumpkin block sets. Each one comes in a set of 3 little blocks, and I hope you like them, and I hope you like the video. And without further ado, let's get to the DIY for today. For my wood block pumpkins, I basically just take a 2x4 and cut it into the sizes that I need. For the smaller sets, I do 4, 5, and 6-inch blocks. And for the larger sets, which we won't be seeing in this video so much, I do 8, 11, and 15-inch blocks. Once they're cut to size, it's time to go in and sand them. And we actually bought a little belt sander for this step. And my husband had started sanding the corners and the edges of some of them, and then they got left outside in the rain. And so here I am going over some of them with my palm sander just to basically clean them up. There were a few that hadn't been gone through the belt sander yet, so I went ahead and got those finished as well, just smoothing out all the edges and the corners, and then taking my palm sander and finishing up where I couldn't get with the belt sander. Once all the blocks were sanded, had rounded edges, and were nice and clean, I brought them inside and it was time to start painting. So for this project, I am doing just my smaller, the more modern farmhouse pumpkin block sets. And I picked out 5 colors of DIY paint. I'm using Crinoline, Summer Crush, Skeleton Key, Faded Burlap, and Weathered Wood. Now, DIY paint is great because it's a high quality, highly pigmented paint, which meant that thankfully I only had to go over these wood blocks with 1 coat of paint. It was still a little bit time consuming though, because I was doing the sides and the top the first go around and then setting them down to dry. And then I had to go back over each block and give the other side a coat of paint as well. So it still took me a minute to get these all painted for sure. Once the painting process was done, it was time to seal these guys. And for that, I chose DIY's Big Top. This is a nice water-based, very durable sealer. And the reason I wanted a good durable sealer is because if you think about it, these blocks are going to just sit out for fall and then be packed away in a box somewhere until the next season. And I wanted them to be heavily protected from all of that wear and tear. So Big Top it was. Now again, I'm going over these, the sides, the top, and the bottom with 1 good even coat of Big Top to make sure that they're well sealed and ready to go. Then it's on to stencils. Now I printed these stencils with my Cricut, and I am doing polka dots on the largest of the blocks in each set, and then little lined arrows on the medium blocks of each set. So this is me just weeding my stencil. I was able to get enough to do 2 sets of pumpkins with each one of these 12 by 12 sheets of vinyl. Then for the smallest blocks, I want to do stripes. And so for that, I'm just using painter's tape and randomly creating stripes. So here's what they look like just before I'm ready to start painting the stenciled areas. So for that, I'm just grabbing a little makeup sponge. I get these at the Dollar Tree. They come in packs of several of them. And so I just use one and just dab it into the paint, wipe the excess off, and then go about stippling that onto my blocks. So I start with the small block with the painter's tape, because I'm going to have to take that tape off, wait for that block to dry completely, and then I will go back in and redo the tape in some other areas to give it more stripes. So this is the second coat of the paint going on each one of the blocks, and then I peel that the stencil vinyl up once I'm done with my second coat. And then you can kind of see the design, the little arrows and the polka dots. And then, like I said, I go back over the small block again with tape in different areas so that it has more stripes, and then do 2 more coats of the paint on that small block before removing the painter's tape again. And then that set is done, and that's what I did for each one of these sets. Then it was on to making stems for my pumpkins, and for that I'm using old spindles that I got out of some old chairs that we tore down a couple years ago at this point, and I'm just cutting them into little bitty sections that I think would be appropriate to use as stems on my little blocks. Once I have 36 stems cut to length, I took each one and gave it a little bit of sanding, top and bottom, just to make sure there weren't any rough spots or places where little slivers had come loose, so that they're all nice and ready to go onto the pumpkin blocks. Now, of course, all 36 of these little stems need a coat of paint. Actually, these got 2 coats of paint. So I decided to go with DIY's Weathered Wood, which is this beautiful, rich brown with just a hint of gray to it. And I am painting each one of these little stems with, like I said, 2 good even coats of the weathered wood, and making sure to dab some onto the tops of the stems as well, so that they're all ready to go onto my pumpkin blocks. While I'm waiting for those to dry, I took all of the sets outside and gave them 1 good coat just on the top to seal in the stenciled portions with some Rustoleum 2X matte clear enamel. So I did that for every one of the sets. Then I needed to seal all the little stems, and for that again I'm just using DIY's Big Top. Then it's finally time to finish up these little sets by adding their stems, and I'm just using E6000 glue to put a little dab of glue on the base of each one of these little spindle pieces and attach those to the top center of each pumpkin. These turned out so cute. I absolutely love them, and I hope you do too. You guys think of my modern farmhouse pumpkin block sets? I hope you liked them, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up, and if you're new here and you haven't already, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. You can just hit that little notification bell so you don't miss anything. And just as a reminder, all of the DIY products that I used in today's video can be purchased from me through my website at www.theeclecticcottagespokane.com. It's listed in the description box below as well. For gosh, what is it? Tuesday's video, I have been working on a couple projects, honestly. I've decided no more thrift shops for a few weeks at least, while I try to work through some of the collection that I have going in my kitchen right now. It's kind of a mess. It's hard to walk around in there again, and so it's time to start getting that dwindled back down. So I started with the toolbox that I picked up just a haul or 2 ago, the big huge wooden one, and let me tell you, it is so cute so far. I can't wait to get it done. So that'll be in Tuesday's video. I am also working on a little frame that I picked up, and I'm hoping to sneak in a shelf as well. So we'll see. It should be a little bit of a mixed bag for Tuesday's video, but it should be fun. I hope you'll join me then, and I hope you have a great weekend, and thank you so much for being here. Bye.